Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has a sparkling 10-0 career record in the month of September. So let's take a look. Chiefs start the season with the Browns, the Ravens, and the Chargers this year. It's not that easy. But Brandon, Patrick Mahomes being undefeated in September this season, big deal or no big deal?
No big deal. Everything has to fall. And then you look at this year, you said it, the Cleveland Browns. That's your team, Nick. You got Baker Mayfield. You like this team. This is going to be the year that it's going to be a tough September for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens, and the biggest question mark there is, can this offense ascend? What are we going to do with the passing game? What are we going to do there? If they can ascend and if they go to the next level, then it could be scary not only for the Chiefs, but for so many other people in the National Football League. And then Justin Herbert, week 3. Week 2 last year, you guys had to go to overtime, and Bucker hit a 58-yarder to win it. So this is going to be an interesting September for Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and also Nick James Wright. So this is no big deal.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting because it is a big deal because the Chiefs are going to go undefeated in September once again. Like, what are we talking about here? How many times has Mahomes lost to Herbert? Never. How many times has he lost to Lamar? Never. How many times has he lost to Baker? I think maybe once in college. We got to look it up. Might have been an Oklahoma-Texas Tech game, but since then, never. Not as a pro. And it's not just the 10-0. It's the 32 touchdowns, 0 interceptions that really jump off the page at you. I am delighted the schedule makers gave the Chiefs the toughest part of their schedule right in the beginning of it, because it guarantees the Chiefs get the tiebreaker against the Browns, the tiebreaker against the Ravens, starting the division 1-0. So I love it. It's a big deal, much like Andy Reid off a bye in the regular season. Some of these numbers, the sample size is getting greater and greater and greater to where you have to believe it. So Wilds, I say this is absolutely a big deal, and if I'm the Browns or the Ravens particularly, I'm none too pleased with the schedule makers putting us week 1 and 2 against Kansas City.
See, I would like playing Kansas City because I want to be tested right off the bat. And here's what you guys need to do. If you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, do what Todd Bowles did. You got to attack and get to Patrick Mahomes because nobody did it last year. Last year, Browns, 1 sack, Patrick Mahomes. Ravens, 0 Chargers, just 1 sack. Week 17, Mahomes didn't play. So, guys, get to the quarterback. Clowney, hello, wake up, put on the Browns uniform, try to get to Patrick Mahomes. You guys can win the game.
Wilds with the big deal. All right, let's head to the AFC North. So the aforementioned Cleveland Browns set to play the Ravens twice in a matter of 3 weeks with their bye week in between. Meanwhile, Ravens have a meeting with the Steelers sandwiched in between the games against the Browns. I like sandwiches. Brandon, the Browns playing the Ravens twice with the bye in between. Big deal or no big deal?
Oh, this is a huge deal, Jenna. I mean, you got to think about what happens during those bye weeks. This is a time where you can self-reflect. This is a time where you self-scout. So the things that you don't do well, that's what you're working on. You're studying other teams in those areas that do it at a high level. Also, you get extra time to prepare. In the National Football League, we're talking about most games being decided by 2 or 3 points. And now you're giving me a couple of extra days a week to actually get the job done. So this is a big deal when you look at divisional football, because now you're talking about games that really matter, and it's going to impact where you're at the end of the year. So this is a huge deal, Nick.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think it's that big of a deal that they play twice in 3 weeks. That happens occasionally. The big deal is that between the games, the Browns get a week off, and the Ravens play what is always one of, if not the most physically brutalizing games of the NFL season, Ravens-Steelers. And so this is, let me give you a college football analogy. Alabama has been very smart. Every year, right before the Iron Bowl, their game against Auburn, they always schedule Citadel or someone similar. That way, they have an essential bye week where they can make sure they're getting healthy and not getting physically beat up before they face their rival. The fact that between the two Browns games, the Ravens have to deal with that Steelers defense is a huge deal. And the fact that the Browns, and not only do they not have to deal with the Steelers defense, they get a week off to, as Brandon said, self-scout and correct or change the things they need to change from the first matchup. I think this is one of the most important scheduling quirks of the, of the schedule release from a couple nights ago. I think it puts the Browns in great position to do what I think they will do, which is win the AFC North and be the 2 seed this season. So I think this is a very big deal, Wilds.
I totally agree with you. Here's the other.
First, Jenna, Nick, Brandon, we got Kevin. Hey, Kevin Wilds, I'm just looking here. The tickets for that game, Bucks-Pats, are, I don't know, off the charts. How many college tuitions did it cost you to get you and your buddies tickets for the game?
Just 2.
Oh.
Just 2. I only have 2 kids. I have not dug into anyone else's college tuition yet, though I may have.
College tuition. That's a great answer. That is great. All right, we are going to get to the most expensive game on next year's schedule, but we got to start with the Lakers this morning. Their season is winding down quickly. Final push for them to maybe build a little momentum, try to put it all together. They got the Pacers on Saturday. They got the Pelicans on Sunday. They do still have a chance to avoid the dreaded play-in tournament, but LeBron James, who has yet to return to the lineup, has his sights set far beyond that. Here's LeBron from Wednesday's banner ceremony.
We would not send this banner to the rafters without you guys, and I know we're missing a lot of our Laker faithful, but this is absolutely for you guys. We said we would not reveal this banner until we had some of you guys in the seats, so this is you guys' moment. We had our ring night. We wanted you guys there, but we made sure we saved the banner for y'all, so we love you guys, and on the road to back-to-back starts in about a week, so let's get going.
Whoa.
LeBron James putting it out there. Nick, you've been saying all week long you're not worried at all about the play-in game. You might be the only one. Do you still feel the same way?
Oh, not only do I feel the same way, now there are a lot of different machinations that could happen over the final 72 hours of the season, seeding-wise. But if the bracket holds mostly to form, meaning that Utah and Phoenix are the 1 and the 2, or the 2 and the 1, and the Clippers stay the 3, not only am I not worried about the play-in game, I would prefer the play-in game. Now, I know I'm a man on an island on that, but Jenna, yes, you called it the dreaded play-in game. The first play-in game would come against either Memphis or Golden State. They play each other on Sunday. The winner of that game will be the 8 seed. The Lakers this year are 5-1 against Memphis and Golden State. 4 of those victories, utter blowouts. The one loss was a 2-point loss where the Lakers fell asleep in the 4th quarter and blew a 14-point lead late. So I would prefer a path to the Western Conference Finals that starts with Utah or Phoenix than one that starts with a Clippers team that, if you've noticed this year, I have held back the slander on compared to last year, because this year they are a far better team than they were last year. I do not understand what I would call faux concern about the idea that the Lakers, if they are in the play-in game, are going to lose consecutive games to either Memphis, Golden State, or San Antonio, 2 of those 3. I don't think anyone actually believes it. So I would prefer the play-in game. Now, the Blazers might screw that up for the Lakers, and they might end up the 6th seed. But right now, that's what I'm rooting for.
Oh, man. So LeBron James, banner night, talking about the road to back-to-back starts next week. Well, it started months ago, LeBron. You guys went from the number 1 seed, now you're the number 7 seed. So, Wilds, here's the deal. You got LeBron James with a nagging ankle injury. I don't know if you want more games. We're talking about a play-in tournament. It's almost like college basketball. You don't want to be in that tournament. You don't want to be playing extra games. You don't want that. And then you got AD. AD got a nagging this, a nagging that. These guys don't need extra games. They don't need extra miles and minutes on their body. They need to get healthy, and I don't know where they're at in that process. and they need to come together and try to get back on track. But right now, adding games to it is not